Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon, this beautiful, wonderful sunny afternoon. And then all of a sudden it gets a little bit chilly. So Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 14. She sits at the doorway of her house on a seat by the high place of the city. So she sits, this foolish woman, full of folly and boisterousness, she sits. And that in itself tells us everything about this woman. A woman who sits there on top of the hill and watches. And you can get the impression of her watching and waiting for a perspective conversion from someone. This idea that she sits there looking to persuade the ones that would pass her by as she sits there in anticipation of seducing the vulnerable. And the vulnerable are those who are unprotected, they're unguarded, they're unaware. They're without the ability to think and reason in a way that will best protect them. If you like, they are unprotected. They have no armour on. And as a result of that, they are vulnerable. And this boisterous one, this foolish one, this seducer of the vulnerable who entices, she sits there and you can hear her hissing as she sits there on that chair and she overlooks the city, high in the high places. When Jesus was in the desert temptation, devil showed him in the high places. He took him high and revealed to him everything that was under his guardianship and said, I will give you all of this if you will bow down and worship me. And many have been seduced by the glitz and the glamour, the enticements of what we might call the pleasures of our humanity. But they end up not becoming pleasures at all. You know, a drug taker doesn't start off by thinking, I'm going to become a heroin addict. An alcoholic doesn't start off by thinking, oh, it'd be great when I'm out there on the streets and I've got nothing because I've drunk everything away. Or a gambler who enticed by the possibilities of what might be doesn't think I'll end up losing my family and my wife and my everything I own by gambling. And so these seducers, which are many out there, the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And this seducer on this hill, sitting there, is looking and wanting and waiting to seduce the vulnerable. Brothers and sisters, unless we are protected by the word of God, the sword of the Spirit, we'll have our own victim story to tell. But when we walk with the word, that we are more than conquerors through Christ who strengthens us. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great afternoon and I'll see you tomorrow.